Jeff. Mr. Dan, why did you transition over to telehealth?
So sort of similar to Jeff, actually. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't really taking this very seriously. Obviously, everything was happening around the world. I'm like, oh, it's not going to happen in Australia. We've got a good healthcare system. We've got great government policies. We've got all these things it's not going to get this bad. So I was sort of a bit blasé about it. We were doing some preventative measures where we're wiping down equipment and ensuring like social distancing. But I guess, over the weekend that just passed, I started to think a lot more deeply about the impact of me being potentially part of spreading the disease. And I just saw the numbers going up, and you see numbers in terms of like infected people doubling every few days. And I walked into the clinic on Monday at about 10:30, and I walked in and I just had this sudden realization. I'm like, why the hell am I here? Like, I don't need to be here. And the clinic was pretty quiet. We had all the exercise machines really spread out, and we had people who would normally be waiting inside in the waiting room. They're waiting outside on the street with chairs. I'm like, if we're going to these lengths to try to do social distancing, like, we should not be open. Like, this is not going to work. So I sort of went to work, and then organized a meeting with my employers. And I just told them like my stance. I'm like, look, I'm not really feeling comfortable working at the clinic. I'd hate to be part of potentially spreading this virus. Luckily, I had sort of put in place like not a safety net, like a backup measure of doing telehealth services. So we had started promoting it 1 week before, and people were sort of aware of it at the time. So we sort of had that in place, which was a good start. And now the first couple of days of this week, we've just been emailing people and calling people just to let them know that the exercise part of our clinic is transitioning to telehealth services. Pretty good response. We had our first group exercise class last night. We had on Zoom, which was great. Everyone joined in, and I was leading the class, and people just following through. I got people to put in like a backpack. They would put in cans of beans or bags of rice or books, and water bottles, and we went through like a half an hour session. They seemed to really like it. And I've also teeing up some consultations with people over telehealth to help them go through like a home-based program for them to complete whilst they're self-isolating and doing the right thing, staying at home. So that's my story.
That's great. And so you had that pre-frame, that plan initially, and you were able to carry that out. And it was the turning point sounded like it was a Monday, 10:30. You had that kind of existential crisis there. And just quickly, I see Jaden. I don't see him, but maybe we'll save, for the purpose of time, we'll save the opinions maybe for a comment as we watch a blank screen that says Jaden Ranieri. So colleague of Dan. Cool. So moving over to Nate. So tell us what was the processes going through your mind as you made the transition to telehealth, mate?
Pretty much everyone's story combined. So ethically, obviously you don't want to be that one, because that's how the virus started, right? Took one person, spread out across the world. So having that in mind, obviously family, friends, you don't want to be that person causing this change or this outbreak. So then that didn't sit well with me. Bring it up to your boss, your colleagues, and everyone was pretty on board with it. We already had telehealth in plan, not because of the outbreak, just interstate people from overseas. And then it's just bring it to life now. So pretty much with Dan, just telling people, informing them, you can still get the same results and service or value, whatever name you want to put onto it, by telehealth as you would in face-to-face. Obviously, rapport is slightly harder to get, but at the end of the day, results are results. So it's just, as of yesterday, everyone has been full-time telehealth online via Zoom or whatever exercise app you guys may have at the clinic.
That's awesome. And it's great that you all made the transition. You had that in place already. So it would sound like it was an added kind of value for the business to be able to communicate and help people from overseas, or if clients were traveling. What were the kind of the reasons for having telehealth in the first place already established?
Being in the city, everyone's flying in and out, whether Queensland, Melbourne, Perth, Singapore, whatever country you want to name. Like, it was going to be hard to see clients if they needed a session straight off the bat. So then we implemented that probably about a year ago, and now it's just become a thing. And now it's even more of a thing, or a main priority right now, given this pandemic.
Yeah, I was going to say it's fortunate, but considering the circumstances, I wouldn't say it's fortunate, but it's great that you had that preparation already you had the systems in place. So that's a great advantage for telehealth, not only now, but for the future, to reach out to more people. That's great. Dan, apart from being able to work from home, and I know you have a great setup there, home gym there. What are some of the advantages? What's some of the most enjoyable features of telehealth?
Number one would be staying in your pajamas all day. No, I don't know. It's quite refreshing. I mean, similar to Jeff, he's saying that he really enjoys like interacting with people in a clinic setting. Like, I love doing that as well. Like, that gets me through the day a lot. Like, interaction with people. I guess what's enjoyable. It's hard for me to answer that right now, Daniel. I'm still sort of adjusting to it. I do like the idea of the flexibility side of things. So you mentioned my my infamous home gym. So today, I was able to wake up and have a nice sit down breakfast, and then do some work on the computer, email some people, have a chat to people on the phone, and then take a bit of a lunch break, and then go to the home gym, which was 2 meters away from the living room, which is pretty comfortable. And then come back to the computer after that and do some more work. So I guess the flexibility side of things is quite nice. It'd be great if there was more like social interactions like what we're doing now. I think that would make the day a lot more fulfilling for myself. I guess it's just reaching out to people a bit more and seeing if they're available to have chats similar to this one.
That's great. And just quickly, for those of us who aren't fortunate enough to have a trap bar gym set up supreme in their home 2 meters away, what would you say, some advice for those that have, say, no equipment at home, and that's a barrier?
Just some things I touched on before, like you can grab a backpack. I've seen a few of your videos, Daniel, where you just throw things in a backpack and people can squat with it or do some bicep curls. I tell people to grab like the reusable shopping bags, not the plastic ones, but like the fabric ones. They're pretty sturdy, so you can sort of throw stuff in there and you can do trap bar-esque exercises with them. Yeah, anything I guess is weighted, and you can always manipulate other variables for exercise. It doesn't always have to be the weight. It could be the tempo, it could be the repetitions, it could be the eccentric phase, focus, whatever it may be. There's definitely other ways where you can implement an exercise to have a benefit.